The DA in Johannesburg is accusing the Metro's administration of unlawfully using state funds to prevent city manager Floyd Brink from being arrested. The sheriff of the court yesterday failed to enforce a warrant against him for not complying with a court order, preventing a client from being disconnected over a billing dispute. City of Johannesburg's legal head, Segala Malahlela, joins us in studio for more. Good evening, sir. Thanks very much for your time.
Good evening, Mr. Mvogo. How are you?
So are you using state funds to block the arrest of the municipal manager, as the official opposition is suggesting?
It is very surprising that that narrative has been created, because to my understanding, the arrest of the city manager was dealt with by myself in the early hours of this morning. So any usage of the state fund, of course I'm being paid by the state and I'm paid for what I was there for. So if there is any fund I know of, is that I was called by the city manager to respond to his imminent arrest. And that's what I responded to.
Well, okay, I mean, there's all these issues being raised that the sheriff should have gone to the office and not to his place of residence. But isn't the issue here the fact that you are in contempt for court?
Contempt for court order?
Yeah, because the court order said that, you know, you should not disconnect supply.
Now, I think, Mr. Mvoko, it is important when we discuss issues of law to understand the instrument which is being executed.
Okay.
And not to assume certain things as it has been created in the media. That is why I gave you that document, so that it can be inspected as to what exactly the sheriff was attempting to enforce. First, if you go to page 1, and we need to separate issues, and I hear in the media and everywhere, the focus and concentration is only on the ID number and the blink vessel, as opposed to Brink. As you would see on the first page, the reference there is made to Floyd Brink. The city manager I'm reporting to is Floyd Brink. And we're going to deal with that aspect at some point. And also the ID number was wrong. But why do I refer you to the instrument which is being executed? If you go to page 2 of that order, you would then begin to appreciate that and I'll start the sentence, the warrant of committal committed the city manager for a period of 30 days, suspended for 1 year. It is there written in black and white.
Yes.
Suspended on condition that the first and the second responded during the period of suspension. 2.1 are not found to be in contempt of a court order of the 15th August 2023. 2.2 are not found to be in contempt of this order, and 2.3 are not found to be guilty of the contempt of order. Once you deal with that, you would then appreciate that the contravention of all these conditions which have been laid in this document can only be pronounced by a court of law. This document, the last time there was a court process, it was when this document was issued by court. So this document has not been lifted. This suspension has not been lifted. That's why we were surprised. What are people doing at the city manager's house?
But then let's forget for a second about what you guys call defective, erroneous, because of spelling errors, got the names wrong, and so on. Would it not have helped? Would it not have helped if the municipal manager had actually dealt with the issue and instead of, you know, all this drama?
And Mr. Mvoko, that is precisely why I'm making reference to the court order, the substantive issues. I'm taking you away from the narrative which has been created in the media of Blink ID number. Let's look at the document which is being enforced here. Yeah. The document says the order is suspended for a period of 1 year. Some lawyer somewhere decides to wake up early hours of the morning, go to private residence of someone to go and say, I'm effecting arrest. Upon my arrival, I said, let's look at the document you want to enforce. I point out the substantive issues, but of course you can see when someone has a mandate from somewhere, and maybe those lawyers, sometimes you must call them to the studio so that me and that lawyer, we can engage. As to, it was even surprising when I engaged with the lawyer, the arrogance which was there, it was above this world.
Okay, now, the mayor, Mayor Commander, believes it's all part of certain political players who are hell-bent on harassing and hounding out the city managers. But how would they have influenced, assuming that is indeed the case? I don't know if you share that view. How would they have influenced the sheriff of the High Court?
How would they have, who, the lawyers?
Yes. No. The players that Mayor Gwamanda believes want, this is all part of a campaign to harass and hound out the city manager. How would those people, assuming that this is a factor in this, how would they have influenced the sheriff of the Joburg High Court to go to his home?
I wouldn't be able to answer that factually because I don't want to venture into assumptions. I'm a lawyer. I deal with facts. I deal with what is before me. If the mayor is of the view that, those things have happened, he can pronounce on that. But what I know, what I'm surprised is that with this court order, why would even the sheriff attempt to arrest on such an order which does not give him a mandate to go and effect an arrest? Okay. One can only wonder. Why would first the sheriff, why would a lawyer? In fact, that one which was there, one Stephen Erasmus, who was, I think he was also here on Newzroom Afrika, is a candidate attorney. I forgive him for his misunderstanding of real issues. But behind him, there are senior attorneys, there are directors who also were attempting to effect this. You ask yourself, where did they get trained legally?
What do you think happened here?
Mr. Mvoko.
Was it just being inefficient? Is there something we don't know?
I can only wonder. I can only suspect. And I don't want to bring suspicion. But if I give you this document, you would agree with me. Why would the sheriff go and execute an order which has been suspended? Why would the lawyer choose that time which they choose to go to the first citizen of an administrative citizen of the organization? You and I can only wonder and ask ourselves, where do these people derive their mandate, especially in the manner in which they were trying to do a Hollywood style at the city manager's house? But maybe that lawyer must come here and answer, where does he derive his mandate to act in the manner in which he has acted? So and to make matters even worse, a lawyer's work is to execute. We are officers of court. I've got no business in taking someone's house pictures because that's a violation of one's privacy. You can't wake up one day, I'm taking pictures of your house, all of a sudden I've distributed them to all the media houses. And I even volunteer as a lawyer to go and appear on television and other things. Under normal circumstances, I wouldn't have appeared if it was not for that lawyer who chose to come and appear and leave the legal processes and other things and make himself a celebrity.
So what from here?
We have lodged an application in court to deal with this nonsensical warrant of arrest so that at least the city manager can be able to sleep in his house, enjoy his peace with his family. Because Mr.
And go to work.
And go to work as well. It is very important. It is very concerning that a lawyer, you see when you are going to deal with the liberty of a person, this is not an apartheid system where people could just be convicted, people could be arrested, can be taken anyway. Our constitution enshrines the right of liberty and freedom are enshrined in the constitution of this country. And that is one of the fundamental rights of which the very lawyers who were there at the city manager's house, if they were not serving other mandates and other things, ought to have known that I'm dealing with the liberty of a person, incarceration of that person, should be a matter of last resort. Because I asked him, what do you want me to do to correct and rectify the arrest? Your client is not interested in the arrest, it's interested in the reconnection of the meter. If the meter is not reconnected, there's still a violation. Can I go and correct that so that at least we can be there? It's only when I found that even the order they brought, they brought to on site was a completely defective order which has been suspended. And why do you pick up that order, the order of January, and only choose to implement it now? Why now?
But as a city, are you interested in dealing with the matter and forgetting for a second about all the legalities and the suspicions and all that goes with that? If
you were to ask me, the city of Johannesburg is completely interested in the service delivery. That is the mandate which we derive from the Constitution. Anything else is ancillary, and we do not concern ourselves with those issues. If we could be given space to do service delivery and serve the residents of this city of Johannesburg to the best of our ability without, I don't like being in court. I like focusing on service delivery related issues. If I'm answering, I don't know if I'm answering your question quite correctly. Our main primary existence is on service delivery, nothing else. All these other things, unfortunately, they just come with the politics of the day.
Okay, we're going to leave it there for now. And that, of course, the city of Johannesburg's legal head, Segala Malahlela, dealing, of course, with that drama, the attempted arrest by the Sheriff of Johannesburg's High Court of the city of Johannesburg's municipal manager, Mayor Kwamanda, believing that it's all part of certain political players who are hell-bent on harassing and hounding out the city manager here.